On this episode of Carnage, the converter has arrived for the Lexcen, so we're going to get it running. Last time we were working on the Lexcen, we tried to get it ready for Drag Challenge, but the lovely people at Australia Post decided to not deliver our torque converter in time. It ended up arriving the first day of Drag Challenge, and thankfully Max Performance picked it up for us, and here it is. So I haven't even really looked at it yet. I've just opened up the box. All right, so we've got some instructions. Actually, we've got a transmission shield in here as well. That's awesome. Okay, this is something we were wondering about. Because it is a standard case Turbo 400, we're wondering, should we be running a trans shield on this, given that it is, you know, it has a trans brake, it is a standard case, it will have a turbocharged V8 in front of it. So, you know, yeah, these are all important questions. And it looks like the guys at Shore Shield have included a transmission scatter shield in the box. Now, Simon at Allfast to talk to the guys, and they've said have this. So there's a bunch of parts to go with that. Bracketry. There's a torque converter in here as well, which is great. What we really need. Oh, it's like giving birth. Oh. Hey, it's a boy. There we go. So we have our torque converter to go in our Turbo 400, and that is to suit a Lexus V8 or Lexcen V8. In our case, it is a Lexcen V8. Normally found in a Lexus. And there's a shield. Look at that. Now I'm covered in crap. Oh, look at that. That's very fancy. So this is to protect us in case of a transmission failure. So if the transmission decides to go, you don't end up with heavy duty parts in the car with you. And we have seen that happen in the past. Not personally, we haven't had it happen, but I know Zane's had a transmission failure on the dyno, and we showed you that a few years ago, and well, shit. Okay, so we'll just keep going. There's a very large thunderstorm happening outside at the moment. It is raining cats and dogs, but let's have a look at our trans shield. It comes from the guys at CSC Performance over in WA, and WA is also the home of Allfast torque converters, where Simon has made us this beautiful beast. So, looks like, yeah, that bracket goes down there, they bolt on there. Wow, that looks like it will be very simple and should fit up no problems, as you would expect from a very nicely made Australian made product. Go straight in. Look at that. Beautiful. Well, that's our engine and trans mated together with a converter inside. Make sure this bolt lines up. Right, so it's still raining cats and dogs outside. I've got the converter in, I've got the box in, I've got the shield on. So we're making progress, but we're coming up on the weekend. I'm going to do some work over the weekend. Matt will rejoin us next week, and you're going to see a lot more progress when you rejoin us. So I'm going to keep banging away on this thing. We'll see you after the weekend. And yeah, this thing will be pretty close to running by then. So we'll catch you then. So we're on the flip side of the weekend, and so much has happened that I can't even keep up. And I'll show you that stuff in a sec, but just let me terminate this little connector, because we're getting very close to having this thing up and running. So just doing an oil pressure sensor right now. We'll get it terminated, and then I'll lift it up and show you what we've been up to. These little 3-pin Delphi type connectors have been giving me all sorts of dramas. They do two types. They do one that pushes through from the rear, that's more of the more recent type, and then they do one that you had to terminate out in the front and pull them back in. But either way has been giving me all sorts of dramas, but I think I have worked it out now. I've discovered the secret, and yeah, it's all working for me. So just got to remember the pattern, which is signal wire to the bottom. Come on. You can do it. Cursed myself. Get in there. He wants to fight me now. Bloody things. Two pins in, one to go. Might just have to drag it forward a little bit. There we go. All right, it should be 3 pins in position. Got a little cage about it. There we go. Let's have a look at what I got done on the weekend. Starting at the front here, we've got our converter in, bolted in. We've got our transmission in, bolted in. We've got our tail shaft in and bolted in place. We also have our full exhaust system all in place. I don't think you guys have seen that in place yet, which goes right through to the rear end. It's a single 3.5-inch system, I believe. All stainless, all made with ProFlow stainless tubing and done by Ben at Top G Fabrications. So obviously GJ Drivelines have done our tail shaft. Looks awesome. It's connected up to the billet yoke here at the front of the diff that MDR did for us, Mobile Diff Repairs. Luke smashed that out for us before Drag Challenge. And then obviously we've got our all-fast converters, Turbo 400 and converter, and yeah, all I have to do is wire up the trans brake, tighten up the lines there, and we're pretty much right to go under there. I've also made up some oil lines because our original oil filter adapter from the 1UZ was going to hit against the sway bar here. So we've had to use this adapter piece from Venom Automotive, and then run 2 -10 lines back here to a remote oil filter mount that has a Ryco 89A oil filter, so it's like a short Z9 basically. We do have another one of those laying around. Let me just grab one. That is what the oil filter mount looks like. So the ProFlow unit has -10s and bungs, that all comes with the kit. So we've got it mounted up under there at the back of the motor, just tucked away. So it'll take a Z9, or like I said, the Z89A, which is a shorter version of a Z9, is what we've got in there. So really good little unit. So yeah, I've been busy. Now I've just been finishing up the last of the sensors and that sort of stuff, and then we're getting pretty close to putting fluids in this thing, loading a map in the ECU, and hitting start. Oh, I've also wired in the fuel pumps, so, or mostly wired. I think I've got the signal wired to run. That's about it. But yeah, lots has been happening. So we'll continue on, get the rest of it done, and hopefully by the end of this video, we should be able to hit the key. That's the plan. Right, so I've just been working around the car, doing stuff like the oil turbo feed line and stuff like that, connectors, but we're starting to jump from bit to bit. So I think it's time to write a list and work out what exactly I need to do, A, to get it started, because I'd love to do some sort of startup in this video if we can, and B, have it running proper. It's kind of two different lists. My plan is to start it with no water in it to start off with, as in just hit the key, start it, get it running, make it run, not driving of course, but running, no water in it, and then we can do the water side of things because it's a little bit more complicated. And yeah, once we've got the water side of things sorted, then we can be ready and running and start looking at dyno and stuff like that, but that won't be this episode. Let's try and get it running. So to do, what do I have to do to make it run? Those idle air ports, seal idle air ports, connect power and starter. Oh, how about we go connect starter, connect earth to engine, connect pump trigger to relays, power and earth to ECU, alright, what else? Fill trans fluid, fill engine oil, seal power steering. Alright, E85, get some E85 fuel. I think if we do those things, we're going to be very close. So let's work the list, get that done, and see if we can at least start this up. Oh, well, I will have to load map into ECU. Let's do that. Load map into ECU. All right, let's work the list. Shall we see if it catches fire? Let's see if this does anything. It shouldn't, but Jesus scared the shit out of me. Stupid wipers, go away. The fuck? I bet bumped the horn. Jesus, don't do that to me. Oh, getting old. My heart's only so strong. Well, it's not on fire. That's a start. So I was getting pretty excited about trying to start this thing up, but it looks like I've stumbled at the very first hurdle. So we put power to the car, all right, and it does power the car up. I haven't connected up the starter engagement wire yet. It is something I do need to connect, but before even that happens, we need to see lights on the ECU, and there are no lights on the ECU, and I don't know why. We have power to the ECU, earth to the ECU, switched 12 volts to the ECU, but no bloody lights on the ECU, and I don't know why. It is the ECU from the Trollbo. It should work. It worked fine in the Trollbo, but I'm going to have to puzzle this out, and it's going to take time, and time is something we don't have for this video. It's either finish it up now or you don't get a video this week. So we're going to puzzle this out, find out why we have no lights on the ECU, and try and get this thing started. But that means you're going to see all this on a future episode of Carnage. Ah, so close. Bloody cars. Okay, what do we got here? So there, power. That's fuel pumps. Ah, for fuck's sake. ECU earth. God damn it. Let's see if this works. What's it, 11 mil? All right, let's test this. Look at that. We have a light on the ECU. God damn it. We have a dash.